Welcome back, Days of Our Lives fans. We've got major drama brewing in Salem this Monday, July 7th, and trust us, the calm before the storm is officially over. Let's dive into today's spoiler-packed breakdown, because what seems like an innocent day out may turn deadly in a heartbeat. On the surface, it's just a simple trip. A carefree summer outing for two teens who've had more than their fair share of chaos. Ariana Horton and Holly Jonas are packing for a senior lake getaway, looking forward to a break from family tension, emotional baggage, and life in a town where danger often hides in plain sight. They imagine sunshine, quiet waters, laughter, maybe even a chance to reset. But what they don't know is that this innocent trip may become the stage for something far more sinister. Because as Ari and Holly prepare to leave, Doug Williams III is unraveling. He's not just troubled, he's drowning. Doug is deep in debt to dangerous people. He's entangled in a predatory web of loan sharks, sketchy transactions, and escalating threats. And now, time is no longer on his side. Salem's underworld is closing in, and Doug has something, or rather, someone, his enemies are interested in. What better way to send a message than to target two vulnerable girls linked to the man who owes them everything? Insiders hint that Doug's misdeeds are about to cost more than just money. They may cost lives. The lake trip may become the perfect opportunity. An isolated location, minimal supervision, two unsuspecting girls, and enough distance from town to delay any rescue. And if Ari and Holly vanish into thin air, it may be hours, or even days, before anyone suspects foul play. Doug may not even know they're missing until it's far too late. This is more than just a bad decision. It's a slow-motion disaster waiting to happen. So the real question isn't if Ari and Holly will be in danger. It's who, if anyone, will realize the trap has already been set, before it's sprung. While trouble brews on the horizon, Tate Black is facing a different kind of storm, one that threatens to destroy him from the inside out. He's considering tagging along for a short visit to the lake trip. Not for the relaxation, not even for the company, but because he's deeply distracted by one name, Sophia Choi. In Tate's mind, Sophia is still pregnant. He believes her due date is just around the corner, and every hour matters. He wants to stay close, ready to support her, protect her, and witness the birth of what he believes is their child. But that belief is built on a lie. The baby is already born. And the mother he's so desperate to stand beside has already made a heartbreaking decision, one that Tate knows nothing about. In secret, Sophia gave birth to a son. That baby is now living with Javi Hernandez and Leo Stark, tucked away in the Hernandez household, shielded from the chaos that Sophia and Tate left behind. Javi and Leo, unexpectedly, have become caretakers, maybe even surrogate fathers. They've named the child Tesoro, which means treasure. A fitting name for a child caught in the crossfire of secrets and stolen chances. Tate, meanwhile, is completely in the dark. He wakes up each day believing the biggest moment of his life is still ahead. That he will soon cradle his newborn in his arms. That he and Sophia are building a future together as young parents. Instead, that moment has already passed. The future he's clinging to has been rewritten, without his consent. And that truth, when it finally hits, will shatter him. How do you process the grief of losing a child you didn't even know existed? How do you forgive the person who kept that child from you? And how do you rebuild trust in a world where the people you love lie to protect you or control you? Tate's story is no longer about becoming a father. It's about discovering that the life he thought he had never really existed at all. Let's turn the lens to Sophia Choi, the quiet epicenter of this emotional quake. She made a decision that will change lives forever. Alone, scared, and manipulated by outside forces, Sophia gave up her baby. But instead of sharing that with Tate, instead of facing the heartbreak together, she chose silence. On the surface, her choice might seem like protection. But dig deeper, and it becomes clear, this isn't just a girl hiding from the truth. It's someone caught in a web spun by Melinda Trask, the Salem district attorney with a long history of controlling narratives. Trask stepped in under the banner of help. But the question now is, help for who? Behind closed doors, Trask arranged for Leo and Javi to raise the baby. A private agreement, a hush-hush transfer, and a tightly sealed secret. But why? Was it really about giving the child a better life? Or was it about protecting Sophia from scandal, or protecting herself from liability? Either way, Sophia has become both victim and accomplice in a deception that's growing harder to manage. Every time she sees Tate, she lies with a smile. Every time he talks about the future, she nods, pretending she still shares it. But that facade is starting to crack. Guilt is creeping in. The emotional weight of her secret is bearing down harder every day. And when this truth finally comes out, when Tate learns that he has a son who was kept from him, there will be no excuses strong enough to stop the fallout. And what of Leo and Javi, who now love this child as their own? Will they fight to keep him? Will they be viewed as heroes, or kidnappers? This isn't just a love story gone wrong. It's a countdown to catastrophe. A single reveal that could destroy relationships, ruin reputations, and tear apart the fragile bonds forming between four unsuspecting parents. One truth, four broken hearts, and a secret that refuses to stay buried. As emotional chaos brews beneath the surface in Salem, another threat looms, silent, creeping, and dangerously close. Ariana Horton and Holly Jonas are about to embark on what should be a peaceful senior trip to the lake. A weekend of laughter, friendship, and fresh air. A brief pause from the pressure of growing up in a town riddled with betrayal, secrets, and broken hearts. But in Salem, peaceful never lasts long. Because lurking just outside the frame is Doug Williams III, a man sinking fast into the quicksand of his own poor choices. Once seen as just another flawed young adult trying to find his way, Doug has now become the epicenter of a dangerous criminal network. Specifically, he's neck-deep in debt to loan sharks, the kind that don't just send warning letters, they send people. And now, those people are coming to collect. Doug has run out of time, out of excuses, and possibly out of luck. But instead of confronting him directly, his enemies may choose a more chilling method, targeting the innocent girls connected to him. Girls who will be completely isolated at a lake, far from town, far from help, and completely unaware of the danger circling closer. Can you picture it? The water calm, the sky clear. Then, out of nowhere, an ambush. A van, duct tape, screams that no one hears. Ari and Holly, stolen away not because of anything they did, but because of who Doug is. It's a nightmare scenario, and one that's becoming more likely by the minute. The emotional fallout of a kidnapping like this would be catastrophic. For Nicole, Will, Marlena, Eric, and the rest of Salem, it would be a moment of total devastation, especially when they realize this wasn't random. It was personal. And what about Doug? Will this be the wake-up call that finally breaks him? Or will he spiral even deeper into guilt and self-destruction? One thing is clear, a rescue will be needed, and soon. But time is running out, and if Salem doesn't act fast, these girls may vanish without a trace, becoming pawns in a brutal game they never asked to play. So let's take a moment to truly absorb what's unfolding in Salem this Monday. A supposedly innocent trip to the lake, set to become the epicenter of a chilling kidnapping plot. A confused young man, Tate Black, still living in a fantasy while the truth about his child and his girlfriend tears that dream to shreds. A baby boy, Tessero, caught in a whirlwind of secrecy, deception, and the looming threat of a custody battle. And two young girls, Ari and Holly, about to be thrown into the darkest chapter of their lives, used as bargaining chips in a world of violence and desperation. What we're witnessing isn't just another twist. It's the start of something bigger. This is a storm front gathering. A web of lies tightening. And a series of choices, Doug's, Sophia's, Trask's, that could soon destroy the very people they claim to protect. The emotional stakes have never been higher. So now we turn to you, the audience. Do you believe Tate will learn the truth before he loses everything? Will Doug own up to his sins, or will his silence cost lives? And could this kidnapping be the breaking point that forces secrets into the light? Drop your theories, reactions, and predictions in the comments below. We want to hear everything. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you never miss the latest unraveling mystery in Days of Our Lives. Because remember, in Salem, every quiet moment is just the calm before the storm. And this storm? It's just getting started.